Hi and welcome to Better Late. My name's Ufuma. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I should explain that Better Late is a place where I basically share all the positive things about becoming a parent later in life. So all of the research and knowledge that I've acquired at this very early stage in my journey, and all the positive experiences that I've had. It could be anything related to fertility, child learning and development, baby toy and product reviews, talking about diet, health, lifestyle, beauty, you name it, all the good things about being an older first-time mum. So today I'm going to be talking about an element of child development and an approach called Montessori, and I'm going to be sharing some toys, Montessori inspired toys that I recently ordered and received from the States. So if I just give a very brief introduction to what Montessori is all about, what it means. First of all, it's the name of a woman, Maria Montessori. She was the first woman in Italy to become a medical doctor, and she devoted much of her life's work to the study and observation of children. And through that study and observation, she developed an approach to learning that we now know as the Montessori approach. Basically it's something that can be implemented from naught, so from newborn through to early adulthood. So for her, the period that she was looking at was naught to age 24. Now obviously we have to take things in baby steps, literally. So I've been doing research around naught to age 3 and what you can do at home before potentially the child enters the mainstream school system, to introduce Montessori methods into your home and your child's life from birth. So in terms of the research that I've done, I like reading, and I ordered a couple of books that came highly recommended. The first is this one. It's called Montessori from the Start, and it's about Montessori in the home from naught to age 3. And then the second very popular title is this one, the Montessori Toddler. So both of those I think have given me a nice intro, and the next stage for me was basically starting to look for materials or toys that would kind of help develop my son in line with what Montessori recommends. So I've got two sets of toys actually to show you. The first have been given to him by his auntie, and so this is quite a recognisable Montessori toy called a ring rattle, and I've actually got another one slightly different in the set that I got from the States, which I'll talk about later. So you'll notice a common theme with Montessori toys and materials is that they're made from natural materials, particularly wood. That's one thing. And the second thing is that they're very purposefully made and crafted, either to encourage an element of the child's development or to represent real life concrete things. So for example, you've got the little dog here, elephant there, little bird. And again, the shape of this, all of them in fact, is to make it easy for the child to grasp. Teddy bear there. So you won't find things like unicorns or, you know, weird and wonderful things that don't actually exist, really, usually being encouraged in the Montessori environment. But so that's that. The next set of toys I'm going to be showing you are from a company called Heirloom Kids USA, and they did actually arrive from the USA a couple of days ago in my United States Postal Service box there. One thing that's, I think, gaining in popularity in recent times, potentially due to the pandemic kind of situation that we're in, where lots of parents are homeschooling and basically have more time to devote to their children's development in the home, there's been this explosion of companies that produce kind of development boxes which you can purchase in line with your child's development. So they might say, okay, we've got this box for 5 to 7 year olds, we've got a box for whatever, and some of them are on a subscription basis, so they will send you a box either once a month or once a quarter with various toys and materials in line with your child's age and the stage that they should be in their development, which is a great business model when you think about it. It makes it quite easy, takes out some of the guesswork. For me, reading the books that I just shared with you has taken out some of the guesswork. And the company that I've ordered from, they too have boxes for certain development kind of stages, I think from 0 to 24 months. So there's a 0 to 4 box, a 4 to 8, 8 to 12, etc, etc. And I jumped straight in with the 4 to 8 months box, because by the time I came across them, my child was 3 or almost 4 months. There's a 6-week lead time on the boxes as well. So he's now 5 months, and yeah, I'm looking forward to delving into the 4 to 8 months box with him, but I'll do it with you first. So I'm going to take you through the contents of the box, and I'm going to explain what each of the items is for, and what it's supposed to help encourage a little baby to do. So helpfully, this card came in the box with the items, so I love that. So as I said, this is the 4 to 8 months box. It's level 2. The first item is this. It's called a ring rattle. So you'll notice it's quite similar to one of the items in the set that he got from his auntie. Thank you, Auntie Dins. But this one is a bit bigger. It's got one more ring to it. And it's used for grasping and shaking. The sound of the wooden rings entices babies to grasp, shake, and mouth the rattle. So it's talking about mouthing there. And definitely with the smaller one from his auntie, it is small enough and it's got this ridge on it for him to rub across his gums. I think he is just beginning to start teething now, so it's quite useful from that perspective. But an important health and safety point I would like to make is that you should not leave your baby unattended with any toys, because you just don't know the risk of choking if he was to swallow either of these. I mean, they might look like they're too big, but as I said, you just never know. So please do not leave your children unattended with any toys whatsoever. So that's the ring rattle, item number 1. Next is the bell cylinder. So it's a cylinder with a bell inside it. It's used for purposeful grasping, reaching, and crawling motivation. So the gentle sound of the bell cylinder reinforces purposeful movement and encourages children to reach for, grasp, and shake it. Later, it is a wonderful tool for enticing babies to scoot and crawl. So if you see it on my hand there, you can see it rolls. You can imagine rolling it on the floor away from your baby to encourage them to crawl. Scooting was an observation of Maria Montessori's as a precursor to crawling, I believe. I mean, you might recognise when babies are kind of scooting along on their bums or their knees before they actually move into full-on crawling. Some babies I hear go from scooting straight to walking, whatever. It's all part of the process, I guess, observing, learning from your baby as much as you're trying to teach them and encourage them as well. Next is the cube rattle. That's the cube rattle. This is used for tactile and auditory stimulation. So tactile, touch, and then the auditory stimulation comes from that bell inside. The bell cube provides a unique grasping experience and is easily grasped and shaken by the infant with just a few fingers. Babies love to grasp at the bell inside and hear the gentle sound as the cube is shaken. So that's the cube rattle. Next are the interlocking discs. So these are the interlocking discs. One thing I love about these toys is just the simplicity, the beauty of the design and the crafting, but the simplicity. Now, when it comes to the design, you'll notice in a lot of these descriptions, the word purposeful has come up. So, you know, encouraging purposeful movement, purposeful stimulation, etc., rather than random or chaotic play. But I wanted to seize on the word purposeful because the design of this is obviously quite deliberate. It's the interlocking discs are used for hand-to-hand transfer and eye tracking. So the unique shape of the interlocking discs allows babies to grasp with one hand and transfer to the other. So the transfer from hand to hand is something that I've read babies should be able to do from around 6 months or by the time they're 6 months. As babies swing them, they will practice tracking the discs with their eyes. Later, they make an interesting rolling pattern for crawling motivation as well. So, yeah, those are the interlocking discs. Now, one thing that I've read a lot and observed a lot on some of the social media accounts that I follow around Montessori is this idea of giving your child activities, your infant activities, and those activities will usually require some kind of setup from the adult, and you know, you're effectively setting them up to be able to do these activities, to enjoy doing them and to complete them successfully. So the design of these discs, I think, is almost a way of setting up a child successfully being able to transfer from hand to hand. Beautiful and very purposeful design there. Okay. And the last item in the box is the ball cylinder. So you can see it's got these colourful balls in it. Again, it's a cylinder, so it's going to roll. So I'm assuming it's something to do with crawling. And yes, this is used for crawling motivation. The colourful balls and the gentle tumbling sounds they make encourage your baby to begin reaching for and crawling towards the ball cylinder. So yeah, these are all toys and activities, forms of stimulation recommended by Maria Montessori. One other thing I would say about the whole development side of things, and as an older mum, is that one of the risks associated often with older mums is the possibility of preterm birth, so giving birth to premature babies, which can sometimes have a knock-on effect on their development later on in life. So I've seen one Instagram account in particular called, I think, Picnics at Play or something. It's a Jamaican lady who had premature twin boys, and she's using the Montessori method to just make sure they have the best start in life. And I've really enjoyed looking at some of her pictures, videos that she's done, explaining how she's introduced Montessori methods into her home and how she's using it to help develop her gorgeous little twin boys. So yeah, that's that. I mentioned where I got these from, I hope. It's a company called Heirloom Kids USA. I ordered them via Etsy, but they do have a direct website. Obviously they ship internationally. They got here in good time and in perfect condition, so I'm really happy with that. I'm talking of perfect condition. They're finished with a beeswax and oil blend wood polish. So really, really natural. That will wear off eventually, apparently. So, you know, if needs be, you can refinish them indefinitely. It also points out that wood is naturally antibacterial. So that's good to know, because obviously there's going to be lots of mouthing of these toys, and all you need to do is wipe them off with a clean damp cloth as and when needed. So yeah, this is the 4 to 8 months box from Heirloom Kids USA. There's lots of different companies out there doing these boxes. Some of them, as I said, they kind of encourage you to subscribe monthly or quarterly so that you get regular deliveries, but for me, this is a one-off purchase on this occasion, but I am probably going to order the next set of toys as well for 8 to 12 months, I believe, and I'll probably place that order next month because of the 6-week lead time. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to playing with them. So I hope you've enjoyed my very quick, very high level introduction to the Montessori method. I do have other videos on other elements of Montessori, for example Montessori mobiles, which you can check out on my channel, and I'll probably share some insights to how I've kind of set up some Montessori inspired areas in my home to further encourage my little boy's development. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Better Late. Bye!